Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Effects Loop. I am your host, Jay Byrne. This is my second attempt at this video. I shot the whole video the first time and for whatever reason, there was no audio. So let me go over the whole thing again. This is always fun. Anyway, I am filming inside a car today because my daughter is on school vacation, and as any parent well knows, it gets a little hard to do stuff, especially if you need quiet and you need to film and all that stuff. I'm going to make this a little bit of an update video, plus I have a subject that I'd like to talk about a little bit. The channel update part of it is, any of my regular viewers that watch my videos will know that I didn't actually post a video last week. I didn't post a video last week because I had a little accident. I fell on my hand and I actually hurt my thumb pretty bad. I thought I almost broke it, but it's coming back to life now. My thumb and parts of my hand, so I actually couldn't play guitar for like a week. So I wasn't really able to make a video for that reason. I wasn't able to play guitar. And previously I had this kind of like wart thing on my head. I wasn't sure if it was a mole or a wart. I had to go to a dermatologist, get it checked out, and it turned out to just be a wart with nothing bad, but it was really ugly and it was kind of like right on my head, and I just had to have my they do this thing where they freeze it and it gets kind of nasty looking, and it was just this big thing on my head. Since I shaved my head, it's like right in the way and it was kind of annoying. But so that is the reason why my content has been a little bit lacking over the past couple of weeks, I think, but who knows. But I didn't have a video last week. But regardless, that's the channel update stuff. I hurt my hand. My hand's getting better now. I can play guitar again. I've been playing guitar and it's coming back so I can actually do that stuff. And I am filming outside in a car because my daughter is home and she's in the house and she's 8 and it's tricky to film sometimes. But anyway, that is the reason for all that business. The subject I wanted to talk about, because I always like to add a little bit of something, even if it's just me talking to the camera. I want to add a little bit of value to the video. So the subject this week that I wanted to talk about, I saw a video. It was an Andertons video. They were promoting a new product. It was the Boss ME90. I know there was an ME80 and like an ME3. This is a regular Boss product that's been around for a while. And it was really cool. It was it's an effects board basically, and it combines all the different multi-effects units kind of into one. I mean, I have the Boss OD200, which I did a video on. I also have the MD200 and the DD200, I think is what it's called. And I'll be doing some videos on those in the future. But yeah, those are great pedals. I enjoy those pedals. They're awesome. They do so much. They pretty much replaced most of my pedals. And I have those, and this Boss ME90 unit does all that stuff. And it got me thinking about the fact that, well, this thing is convenient. Could I use this? Is this necessary? And it's like $350 or something like that. It's not out yet. It's still in the pre-order phase if you go to like Sweetwater. And then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, what do I need this? Why would I need this for? It gets you going into that whole gas subject again, like the gear acquisition syndrome. Like, why do I need this piece of gear? Is it going to do anything? Is it going to enhance my playing? Is it going to help me in any way, shape, or form? And while there was a few extra little items on this thing that I don't have in my mini units, I have everything plus already. And it got me thinking about like the redundancy in a lot of gear that's coming out right now. I mean, let's face it, most of the stuff that can be done has already been done. So pedal and amp and effects units manufacturers, they're all just struggling to take something that already exists and add a new spin to it so that we, as the gear consumers, will go out and buy this piece of equipment when in most cases we kind of don't need it. And that's weird coming from somebody like me who's trying to be like kind of like a guitar influencer, a YouTube influencer in the guitar realm in this sphere. And it's odd to hear somebody like me talking about that because, the more gear I can review, the more videos I can make, that kind of stuff. But I consider myself kind of honest in the way that if I like something, I like something. If I don't, I don't. I mean, I'm not rich. I'm not sponsored by anybody. So I don't just get gear and deal with gear. Like, I have to go out and buy something if I want to make a video about it. Or if I want to just have something, for myself. And it really got me thinking about all of this and what's necessary and what do we need? Because I mean, I've got those pedals, the multi-effect pedals, the 200 line. I've got 3 of them, and they're great pedals, and they do so much. They do so much that like they kind of wipe out a lot of stuff. And I'm looking at this ME90 saying, oh, that could be helpful too. But I don't need that. That has all the same stuff that's in these pedals that I already have. Maybe a few extra things like some EQ and some amp sims and stuff like that, which I don't need. But it's all there. And I start thinking, ooh, well, maybe I could use this, or I need this or that. I don't need it. It's not something that I need. I already have what I need. I mean, there's a lot of redundancy in Boss's products lately. Like, I have a Katana Artist. All of that stuff is built into the Artist. It's all built into the software. It's all built into the amp. Okay. It's built into the 200 series pedals, which I also have, which is kind of redundancy on the Artist. I mean, I'm aware of that. I mean, I like the functionality of the 200 pedals, so I kind of like to use those with the Artist, and I think it's a really nice marriage of gear, and it works really well, and they kind of have the same sound and effect as what's built into the amp. Actually, I think they're a little bit better and a little bit more flexible than what's built into the amp. But this is all the same modeling that Boss is using to make, their version of a Tube Screamer, a Klon, or whatever. And they're putting all this into the pedals, into the amps, into these multi-effects units. But they're essentially trying to sell us the same product 3, 4, 5 times. We just keep getting the same things over and over and over again. And it gets me really thinking about, like, what do I need and what do I want to buy? Because, yeah, I mean, how much of the same thing do we have to get? I mean, I see the same thing. I collect movies as well, and this happens ad nauseum in the movie collector market. I collect 4K discs and Blu-rays and whatnot, and a lot of that stuff, I mean, I've already had the Blu-rays being upgraded to 4K, and yes, it looks better, it sounds better, great, there's a slight uptick there, but how many times as consumers are we going to be kind of forced to buy the same thing over and over and over again? We need something new. I mean, pedal guitar, they need to come, these manufacturers need to come up with something different, something new to entice us to, replace something that we already have that does exactly the same thing. I don't know. So, I mean, this was an interesting subject to me. And I mean, if you've got comments about this, leave them in the comments below the video. I'd love to, get a little bit of conversation going on about this. This is interesting stuff. And I'd like to hear people's opinions about this stuff. Definitely. But yeah, it's a pretty basic video today, especially since this is the second time I've actually had to film this video, trying to get all the points out. They're a little more concise this time than they were the first time around. But yeah, if you like this kind of content, like, subscribe, check out my other videos. I got plenty of them out there. I've got some ideas for new videos I'm going to be making. I'm also doing this eBay reseller thing right now. It's JB Cool Stuff at ebay.com. And that is, my movies and my books and my stuff that I'm just trying to kind of offload and get rid of, because I got a really big collection of stuff and I'm trying to sell some of that stuff off. It's all in good shape, so I know that has nothing to do with the guitar stuff, but if there's anything out there that you're interested in, check it out and pick up something. It helps. Any little bit helps here for me to keep doing all of this stuff. But yeah, so I'm Jay Byrne. This has been the Effects Loop. I hope you got something out of this video, and I'll see you next time.